Hey, you wonderful people! We are Chris and Joe.
This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it.
You guys may be wondering, what's all this? Well, to cut the chase, I just want to tell you, I thought of making a quick dash to the nearby supermarket and took out my bike, but forgot the most important thing, helmet and gloves. On my way back, I met with an accident and I had to hit the road pretty hard. It cut here above my eye. I had a few sutures, but praise God, the healing is perfect, and in a few days, the stitches will be removed. My humble advice to everybody, please wear helmet and gloves when you step out on your bike. Enough of all this. Today we have a surprise guest. Our eldest son Joseph is with us.
Hi everyone.
So Joey, what are you planning to make?
Well, I must be sweating already. It's so hot here in Maharashtra. And I think I've got the perfect recipe. It's simple, it's rustic, and every single guy can make it easily. It's called Dahi Kadhi, but I'm making it with a slight twist, combining flavors from both the north and the south. That being said, let's go. To begin with, I've got approximately 3 tablespoons of coriander seeds. Not actually going for specific measurements because, like Uncle Roger says, use feeling. So I'm going to grind this in a stone here because I prefer the flavor from the stone. Or if you're in a hurry, you can always use a blender or a mixer. But the idea is to get it nice and coarse. So don't bother with getting it all fine if you're putting it in a blender. Just get it as coarse but ground as possible. That's the reason why I'm putting it in a stone. I think it has the best flavor. And I've started with this because it's the most time consuming thing in this entire process. So once this is done, we can proceed to the next step. And now with the magic of YouTube, I've pounded it. I'm not sure if that's grammatically correct, but yeah, this is how coarse you need it. And that should get us going. So don't worry about getting it too fine. This is all you need. And now I've got an approximate of 500 grams of curd. Preferably use sour curd because that's where all the flavor of this dish is. So if you got sweet or bland curd, it will not be helpful. Get some sour curd is the best way to beat the heat. Trust me. Make sure to get every last drop of the curd into your bowl. My grandpa used to say, waste not, want not. So make sure you get every last bit of it. Once that is done, okay, it's not every last bit, but I tried my best. Once that is done, you take about 1/3 cup of chickpea flour and sieve it into the curd. The reason why we sieve it is so that there are no lumps. It will take a few minutes, but trust me, it's easy and it's going to be helpful. So sieve it all in there. Okay, I'm sorry if there was too much noise in the previous shot. There was a fan running. It's too hot here, you know. Maharashtra can be really hot. So I'm quickly going to toss in all the remaining ingredients. I'll toss in some of the dry stuff first. I've got 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder. That's an approximate. Let's get in everything that we can. And for some spice, I've got about 1/2 teaspoon of red chili powder. Then the coriander that we had ground or I smashed up. That's 3 tablespoons approx. Toss that all in. I've got some store-bought ginger garlic paste. That's 1 tablespoon. This is a recipe that's easy for all you single guys out there. So you can definitely use store-bought. Don't feel shy to toss in your hand or use your hand whenever you need it. Once this is mixed up, you can add salt to taste. and pour in about 4 cups of water. This recipe uses a lot of water. So I'm pouring in 4 cups now. We'll add another 4 cups later because you'll have to cook all of this up. And if you see the coriander seeds floating, trust me, this is the flavor bomb that this recipe gets all its taste from. So mix it up really well. Once that is done, we'll add another 4 cups of water and cook this up. And now for all the action, I'm going to set this pot ablaze. Basically, I'm lighting up the stove so that we can keep it on high so that this thing heats up. I'm using a heavy bottom vessel. I think this is a Dutch oven. Yeah, I'm just using whatever I find available in my mother's kitchen. So this may take some time. So I'm heating this up and we can get this going. So like I mentioned, this is more of a fusion. Kadhi is ideally a dish from the north. It comes from Rajasthan, Punjab, Gujarat. And since I'm in Maharashtra and I'm a South Indian, I'm going to add a little bit of my twist as well. Once the dish is hot, you can pour in some ghee. That's about a tablespoon, I guess. That's a little bit more than a tablespoon. Fat carries flavor, so that's what you got to do. Once this is hot, put in some of your onions. This is what's going to give you the flavor for your kadhi. So toss in the onions, let it sweat a bit. Just like I'm sweating here in the kitchen, I'm going to take it out on the onions too. You can see it slowly starting to turn brown. Now we don't want to burn it up here. So let's just get the moisture out of it. That done, I'm going to toss in the other ingredients. I've got half a teaspoon of what is this? Jeera. The name is slipping my mind. I'm growing old. I've got 1 teaspoon approximately of asafoetida or hing. Okay, I reduced the flame. I think this got a bit too hot. Now I'm tossing in half a teaspoon of methi seeds. Throwing in 2 whole Kashmiri red chilies. But I don't think that'll add enough zing, so the good Maharashtrian in me is adding about 3 green chilies as well, finely chopped for the zing. And the South Indian that I am can't miss the kadhi patta, so this will add my fusion. I think kadhi patta adds meaning and flavor to kadhi, so that's going to bring out all the best flavors here. Let's get them all to introduce themselves to each other and get the party going. Now that this all seems to be getting nicely acquainted, I think we should be putting in the rest of our mixture. Okay, I forgot to toss in a little bit of coriander powder as well, so I added that here to the mixture. Let that get in there. This is a little bit of some of the coarse coriander powder that I had pounded earlier. Now once that is done, take a breath. If this is all smelling perfect, now it's time to then add the curd mixture that we had mixed up earlier. So shake that well, stir it well, and easily, carefully pour it into the mixture. Now I'm adding another 4 cups of water. Like I mentioned, that this will start off with a lot of water. So about 8 cups of water approximately. The flame has gone back high and we're going to boil this mixture now. Now we'll have to boil this for quite a bit. So let's bring this to a boil on high and we'll keep stirring it so that it doesn't get burnt at the bottom. And since we put some chickpea flour in this, it's going to thicken up a little bit, so don't worry. It looks runny at the moment, but let's bring this to a boil, and then trust me, it's going to get yummy. Now that it's nicely coming to a boil, this would be the right time to give it a quick taste test to see if the salt is perfect. I think I can use a little bit more salt. Now that is done, stir that in. And we will reduce the flame to low. Cover and cook for 30 minutes. Now this is going to cook for quite some time. You want to cook it nicely because you want to take away the flavor of the chickpea flour. What do you want to do in the meantime? Probably go play a video game for about 30 minutes and then come back. But make sure to keep stirring this on occasion so that it doesn't burn. Right, now that we are done with 30 minutes or so, this looks perfect. The reason once again why we cook it for so long is to take away the taste of the chickpea, raw chickpea flavor. It needs to cook nicely. Now you see that it has thickened. Perfect. It's got the right texture. We can put this off and take it off of this heat. Right. Now I had asked my mom to make some pakoras. She's done this earlier. Keep an eye out on the YouTube channel for the recipe of the pakoras to come sometime later when it starts raining. But the perfect thing to add into the curry now is to put in these pakoras. So like I was saying, this is a perfect recipe for even you single guys out there who are not sure how to cook. You can always ask the neighboring auntie or someone in your building to cook some pakoras for you. You can add that into the curry, just like how I've asked my mom to make it. Okay, and now we are going to add the final touch to this entire dish. We'll be neatly tying it in a bow. We'll heat up a small bowl to do the tadka, or tempering as you call it in English. I'm not sure what you call it in Tamil. Just pour in some ghee. Alright, now once the ghee is melted, carefully toss in some jeera and quickly toss in some of the crushed coriander seeds. Quickly toss in some hing, some red chilies, and also some chili powder. This will be perfect explosion of flavor. This lights the fuse for our bomb. That's it. Now we pour this in carefully into the curry, and finally garnish it with some coriander leaves. I've chopped up some coriander. Here you go. Perfect curry. This is a fusion of north and south flavors. Well, they say the proof is in the pudding, or in this case, Dahi Kadhi. So I'll give it over to the judges, let them tell me how it turns out.
I would ask my better half to do it, but I'm quite greedy to go it. I can't wait to taste the culinary delight of my son.
That was a very small bite, right?
No, it is good.
It smells so good.
Just right for this weather.
So good, Joe.
Thank you.
There's another Joe.
Yeah, Joseph.
Joseph.
That's very nice.
Thanks. I'm glad you liked
The
it.
flavors are so subtle, so creamy, and this pakoda is so, it goes so beautifully with this.
Well, I couldn't have done it without your pakoras, so compliments there.
Guys, you need to try this when it's still summer. Thanks for watching. And before you go, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click that notification bell. This is Chris, Joe, and Joseph signing off.
Bye.
See you next
Yeah.
Sunday.
Happy cooking.